Where's John?
Who is John? What's going on?
He's part of the lore.
Hey, you're not part of this.
Hey, tell the peanut gallery to shut up.
By the way, Jimmy was a total creep on the cruise. Have you guys talked about that?
Hey, guy.
Oh my god. Because I'm the party dude. I'm the coolest one. Everyone wants to be my buddy.
We say that we're like wannabe Tell Him Steve Dave, but like deep down, I want to be like Chuck Staton.
I love hearing that.
I'm good with just one for right now. Shithole.
John has an unhealthy relationship with old ladies.
Where's John?
Yeah.
The infamous question.
Justin.
What? Where's John?
What happened? Where? Who is John? What's going on?
He just had a kid. I'm busy, guys. I can't fucking record.
Oh, really?
I'm too busy.
Oh my God, guys.
My life is falling apart. I got a kid.
His kid is more important than the Wannabeez. This is ridiculous already.
You know what I will say about his kid, though? He's part of the lore.
He actually is. That's so funny.
Yeah, no, John's about to have his second kid, so he's ready. He's getting ready.
I thought he was 11 years old.
He is. He actually is.
I did a pube sweep, and I got nothing. I lubed up my hand. I stuck it down. I got nothing over there. I mean, that's surprising.
It's that manscape. It's the manscape.
Plus, he has one of those tiny little nut sacks that's still like pulled in. You know what I mean? So I was
undescended.
I'm really surprised to hear that.
I didn't know this, and based on what we did that night, I'm not happy.
She doesn't have a nut sack either.
Nice.
Nice. Or pubes.
Chuck was a little disappointed at first.
Yeah. I'm sure he was.
But he's learned to love me.
The last episode, he revealed the name of his second child.
What was it?
He's naming his kid Maxwell.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Is he going to have the worst voice of all time? Or
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God, that's crazy.
It's gonna be from Iowa. He's gonna be just sitting there in Iowa going, guys.
Which is, by the way, the worst state to drive through. I drove from Colorado to here in 3 days, and Iowa by far is the worst.
See, John, your state is hated by everybody. It's because you're not dedicated.
John, fact, Iowa sucks.
You should see all the messages to my friends and family of me saying that.
So you guys met on the cruise, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same as me and Natalie. Same love connection.
Kind of.
We got a throuple instead, though.
Hopefully not the same.
Did you guys bang on the first night that you kissed on the cruise?
100, yes.
Wow,
yes,
it's just like us.
We did. Yep.
They had to spray off the deck when we were done, dude. It was fucked up.
We didn't want to leave.
Was it about 6 minutes after the first time you kissed?
It was instantaneous.
So that's why the deck was so wet.
Yeah, exactly.
So for the listeners out there for Where's John, you might hear some different voices here tonight. And so we have Natalie.
Say something.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Natalie, the cutest fun bear Kopriva.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Yeah, and then we're gonna introduce the second person a little bit later. So I'm just kidding. The great Chuck Staton.
Oh, what's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What's going on?
Thank you for having me on this wonderful program.
I don't know about that.
At this point, you didn't know?
No, I love it. I love that you guys are doing this. I love seeing you guys. It's a great little group, a great little team.
I'm always happy to see you guys. Yeah.
My dog is having a goddamn conniption behind me.
Why?
It wouldn't be an episode.
He's bored. He's like, why is my dad podcasting and not playing with me? What
Wouldn't
the
be an
fuck?
episode if we didn't have Chopper in the background freaking.
I know. He's
out.
freaking the fuck out.
I like that.
But
yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, thank you.
Fuck yeah.
And I was happy because I was reaching out to different podcasts, and I'm like, oh, we got this live show. I want to promote it. And you guys were like, let's get Natalie on too. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I took the day off work for it.
She's part of the lure.
Part of the lure.
You guys were there for episode 0, technically. Yeah.
I know. We really were.
I am super proud of that.
And for listeners who aren't aware, John was hosting it. and Natalie was on the show, and he introduced her at the 96-minute mark. So that was really
sorry. Who?
He goes like,
is he on this call?
No, he's a weird John. He's not dedicated enough. He's not dedicated enough to come on.
We told him
he had more important things to do.
Yeah.
And
how old is he for real?
25.
25.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, he's from that weird state, so he has. Yeah, he doesn't have anything to do, so he's just banging somebody and pooping out babies.
You're either banging somebody or doing meth in Iowa. I feel like.
Well, actually, the story. You're gonna love this story because I love this story. The reason he's having a second kid is because the Impractical Jokers cruise. His wife said, if I take you on this Impractical Jokers cruise and pay for it, you need to impregnate me. So that's exactly what happened, and that's what happened to date, because he had to fulfill a contract with his wife. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. The reason me and Natalie got together is because before I went on the cruise, I made a promise to myself: if I go on the Impractical Jokers cruise, I'm going to impregnate somebody. And so I had to find someone to impregnate.
And that's why we're on this right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We have an
exclusive. WannaBeez exclusive.
Yeah, right
there.
No.
Shit.
He would probably be the one to pay for the cruise.
Yeah.
and want to go for that reason.
Absolutely.
That's hilarious.
It is kind of funny because like we were talking right before we recorded. Hey, you're not part of this.
Hey, tell the peanut gallery to
right
shut
before,
up.
we were recording. Yeah, peanut gallery. Shut the hell up.
My wife thought I told her she was about to smack me because she thought I said to her to shut up.
Just give her another large Dunkin' Donuts coffee at midnight.
She's actually got a coffee.
We all met on the cruise. You guys met on the cruise. We met on the cruise. It's fucking that cruise like changed so many lives. I feel like more so than the other IJ cruises. I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow, it's true. Yeah. No, it's definitely true for me for sure. And I didn't even know I was going until like 3 weeks beforehand. Quinn's like, "Oh, you want to go?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, buddy."
And now look at you, fucking IJ camera operator over here.
I know. I think the cruise did start a lot of stuff and move a lot of relationships forward. That was kind of like, you know what's funny? Remember Back to the Future where they go back in time and then basically time branches into a couple different versions of what it could be. But that's the moment right there. Is like that's the change in a lot of people's lives and stuff.
Especially because I had kind of flown under the radar for so long.
Well, that's
and then I was like, okay, these people are all really awesome.
Well, it's funny because, Tell 'em Steve Dave, famously, mostly male listenership. Yeah. So the idea of a new, cute woman who listens to the show was very eye-catching on the cruise. So as soon as I saw her, and I think a lot of other people, they were like, huh? What? And they were poking at her like she's like an alien.
Okay, stop talking about Jimmy that way.
Hey, guy.
And I feel like because she hadn't been on social media at all, people were really surprised to see her because like a lot of the Tell 'em Steve Dave fans, I think, meet each other or communicate through Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit. You know what I mean? So the idea of someone new that's not part of that was very weird. By the way, Jimmy was a total creep on the cruise. Have you guys talked about that?
No.
Oh, no. Dude. So after he did the rap battle with Ming at Space Monkeys 2, he said, because he was excited that everyone was cheering for him, he said, "I could have any girl on the cruise if I wanted."
I can verify that is not true.
By the way, Chuck, you doing Jimmy is my ultimate. Like when you're in front of Jimmy doing Jimmy,
God.
it makes my heart just glow.
I think people really, you know who loves it? Johnny Law. Yeah. Johnny Law, he's like, you should pitch to Walt that you do a show as Jimmy. And I'm like, you haven't known Walt Flanagan long enough to know how much he'd hate that idea. But I know that Johnny Law loves that impression. Yeah. But yeah, he really said that. He said that on the cruise. And I told Q, and Q died laughing. And he's like, I don't even think I could have any girl in the cruise. And I was like, That is the ego of Jimmy the Hair Guy. He pretends in public, he's like, oh, I'm just a piece of shit. I'm 2 feet tall. Please, I'm just a little guy. But in real life, that guy has the biggest ego out of anyone I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
I know. He always, every Monday when the WannaBeez drops, he's like, did you guys talk about me this week?
Oh, my God. It's disgusting. We have a group chat, and it's me, Get 'em, Tom, Jimmy, Brad, and Rupert. Yeah. And every week when Tell 'em Steve Dave comes out, Jimmy's like, they said a sentence about me. Oh, they said a sentence about you, Rupert. You better listen. And it's like, I'm like, Jimmy, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Like, wow, he's obsessed. It's insane.
Hey, you know obsessed. What? You got one life, I guess. Just go for it. You know.
He says that about us all the time. You guys are famous. I'm like, no, we're not famous. You're nuts, guy.
Hey, by the way, I love Jimmy the Hair Guy.
We got 62 listeners. We're not famous.
That's good. Jimmy, I want to say this too because I got to pair this with the truth, which, by the way, the other thing I said was true as well. But Jimmy the Hair Guy, I love this guy. He's one of my favorite people. He's one of my best friends. And I moved here before Natalie came down because she had to drive from Colorado. So I moved here about a week and a half ago. And Jimmy, Rupert, Alex, and Get 'em, and my dad and Michelle all came and helped me move. And Jimmy, by far, was the MVP. Where it's like, we moved all the bags in, we moved all the boxes in. I tried to make it easy on them, so I bagged and boxed everything before they came, and we just filled our cars. But we got inside, and Jimmy's like, all right, let's unpack. And I'm like, oh, you don't need to do that, dude. You don't need to unpack. And he's like, I want to. And he spent hours unpacking everything and finding places for it and asking me where it goes. He was a fucking machine. And, it's really, really amazing to have a friend like that. Yeah. He's a wonderful guy with a big heart and just as big of an ego.
Yeah. Jimmy is awesome.
I love Jimmy.
Love Jimmy. Love having
He's
Jimmy on.
Guy, yeah.
He is super awesome.
Oh my God. They're talking about me. My ears are Michelle, my ears are burning.
Text him. Text him right now. We're talking about you.
We're talking about you.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
so
is
fucking funny.
Hilarious.
Oh, so funny.
So Nat, when did you get into Tell 'em Steve Dave? Like, where was that transition? Did you always listen? Because the last time you were on, you, like we said, you were only like on for like 10 minutes.
I definitely am not like day one, but it's been a long time now. Yeah. I don't even remember.
Well, what was the reason you started listening?
I was going through just a lot, and I was like looking for more just content that would kind of like distract me and be fun and funny, and I don't know how. I just was like Googling people and
Wait, were you
like Impractical Jokers? Okay. I would like Google like what other projects do they do, and or like other comedians or shows that I liked, and just kind of like dug into it. And I had never listened to podcasts before ever, and I saw this, and I just kind of Googled it and started listening, and I was like, this is really confusing. I'm like, I have to start from the beginning. Not realizing that I was already like pretty far behind, but I started listening, and anytime I would go on walks or like hikes, I would listen, and then I would just keep going, and then I would re-listen, and yeah, it's just, I don't know exactly when though.
And that
it's been years though.
So kind of going back to the cruise, because you said like that was like the first time you really did something like that and put yourself out there on like in a big way, you know. So what was it about? You were just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go on the cruise, and like the Tell 'em Steve Dave thing, or was it the IJ thing that really was pulling you into it? Like, what?
Ultimately, Tell 'em Steve Dave, because I wanted to go on the Impractical Jokers cruise, but it was never anything that I did, mostly because at that time I probably couldn't have afforded to. But when it came back this time around, I was like, that was the tipping point. I'm like, well, if this Tell 'em Steve Dave group is going to be there and all these people are going to be there, I have to go. Yeah. I'm like, I don't care. I'm buying
It's so weird to think about, because now, and we joke about it, but now like you're part of the lore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's really weird. It's so weird because I needed something at that time and in my life, and I told Brian Johnson that too on the cruise. Like it really came at the perfect time in my life to start listening to this, and that's why I went on the cruise. I wanted to meet all these people that just really kind of, I hate to bring it down, but like just got me out of a dark place, and it was so neat and fun. And then meeting everyone else, I was like, oh my gosh, there's like a whole community. It's so cool, so cool.
Yeah, and then like on top of that, we just did Q West, and that was like that was crazy too. That was like a part 2 to the cruise. Now we got the curator thing coming up in June, so it's just like,
oh yeah,
it's.
I know.
Just
I
crazy.
felt like. Q West was like a class reunion or something.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is just so cool.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I didn't realize that Q West. It's so funny because, like, the way that Q told me about it was probably in like November, first weekend of April. We're going to Key West. That's all he said.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And he didn't tell me it was for a comedy festival. He didn't tell me anything. And then it was coming up, and he was kind of explaining it to me, and I was like, cool. And I guess I didn't realize that it was going to be like basically 100% Tell 'em Steve Dave fans.
Yeah.
You know? Like I didn't realize that until we got there and we started dealing with everybody and seeing everybody. And I'm like, oh, this is all Tell 'em Steve Dave. It's like 100%.
Yeah. It was really crazy to see all the ants there and meet new people. Like the Alaskan guys were crazy. You know?
Yep. Yeah, it was crazy. It was amazing. That weekend was like incredible. I mean, I filmed a lot more than I expected. I wish I had more time to chill out. I think next year I'm really going to push for multiple cameramen so that I don't have to be on my feet fucking 24 hours a day. I want Rupert. Plus, I want Rupert down.
Yeah, Rupert. Like Rupert.
You know what I mean?
Like I know Tom is busy, but you know it would be fun to get Tom down there too.
Yeah.
I think Q.
Tom's
Q has always wanted to do this. If you listen back, he's kind of catered to this situation. Anytime I seen him with my Tell 'em Steve Dave stuff out in like the real world, like he's doing an IJ thing, he always kind of focused on that. On a lot of, I find that like when he sees fans of Tell 'em Steve Dave, he kind of like it just like he focuses on it, and it's super cool that he does that because like. The four cruises before that were not. They would Tell 'em Steve. There was plenty of Tell 'em Steve Dave fans and ants there, but it wasn't like this last cruise.
No, I agree.
This
100%.
one was definitely like, okay, this is we've taken over. The ants have taken over the boat, and we're actually doing this kind of. This is a Tell 'em Steve Dave situation, right?
And I think without having that, I don't think Q West would have been as crazy as it was. Honestly,
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, you guys were like Track. Anytime I saw you, you were just fucking working
You're a maniac
like a
guy,
madman,
dude. It was the amount of footage I got is insane. Yeah. It's insane, and it's crazy. I mean, it was kind of my own choosing to make sure I captured the shows in full.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, man, for posterity, we're really going to want this. What if we do QS for 10 years?
Yeah.
We might want to have the first weekend of shows all recorded, like from different angles, and have all the audio from the board. I was really, like, Jiggy really wanted me to shoot more of, like, handheld stuff of the events.
Yeah.
But I was like, I also really want to capture these shows at a high level so that we have this for posterity. Who knows where this is going to go?
Yeah.
So some of it was self-inflicted, but, man, all the event stuff, it was a lot. Next year, I'm just going to be like, dude, I need help. I cannot be there. I also want to enjoy myself a little bit. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be there for 3 days, you know.
I helped carry bags.
She did.
And hold something.
She held a monopod. And Get 'em did too. Get 'em helped out too.
Yeah.
Oh, Get 'em's great. Yeah.
Yeah. But so it was incredible though. It was so much fun. Like just hanging out with everybody. While you know what, the most uncomfortable thing to film was at the pool, like at the pool bar. Because I'm supposed to get all this ambiance stuff, and there's all these girls in bikinis, and from my point of view, I know that I'm shooting wide, so there's like 10 people in every shot.
Yeah.
But if a girl is in a bikini like 20 feet away, she doesn't know if I'm zooming in,
Right.
Even though I know I'm getting these wide shots, and I'm just like, I had to go talk to some girls because I was like, because if they'd see me, I would just be like, listen, man, I'm like, just so you know, I'm not zooming in, or I'm not getting being a pervert. But I think the most fun, it's tough because what was cool about that pool thing is I actually went up on that really high level.
Yeah.
And I was able to get some really cool sweeping shots, and they had that tiki hut in the middle and that swordfish that was spitting water in the pool. And I got to get behind the guys that were doing the belly flop contest.
Yeah.
And so I have an amazing shot of the one guy that did the front flip and then came out of the water and got the two like cans just like stone cold and did that thing. The footage I have of that is incredible. So that was really fun just because it was so active.
For a little context, everybody. Everybody at this pool wasn't part of QS, so it was open to the public. Crazy. And then all of a sudden, these people are like, "Oh shit, it's Q!" Like there's 400 extra people.
There was like a bridal party or something going on, right?
That all of a sudden that Q walks on and DeRosa walks on, and there's all these things, and
Chuck's running around with a camera.
People didn't know that this was happening at this point, so they were just like everybody was like, "Holy shit, what's going on right now?"
Yeah.
So it was kind of a big chaos. This wasn't just like that
was probably the most chaotic event, probably for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I got to be honest, I had the most fun in the room at the comedy club, I think.
Yeah.
Just because, like, everyone was so warm and ready to laugh and ready to have a good time. And I was getting stuff on stage. I was in 2 of the shows. I was in the opening show and the closing show, so that was really fun. And then I was, like, kind of capturing laughter from the side. Like, I was zooming in on individual people and waiting for big laugh moments because I knew that's what we would use in the edit. And so seeing everybody have so much fun and interacting with the crowd and kind of being there with everyone with what they were really there for, I think was probably the most fun,
Yeah.
Now, what you like being behind the scenes, kind of like where you were, like you had the perfect for history, you're part of the lore at this point. So, like, what was it like for you? Because I would have lost my mind.
First, I think the most fun thing for me to watch you film was the chickens.
Oh yeah. I was trying to get the roosters.
I thought that was like a cool idea for to throw into the video. But anyways,
and I would try to get them when they were like around a corner. So I would set the camera kind of where I saw them slightly walking and set the focus so that like they would come into frame. And it would kind of be like they're coming out of everywhere. So I got a lot of cool shots of that.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. It was really surreal for me. Just cause I kind of helped out a bit. So we did go places where I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah. We had
to have certain people talking to me that I'm like, I listened for years, and and Ming's just like hanging out with me by the pool, like chatting with me, like we've been friends forever, and I'm like, this is so weird,
super weird,
so like surreal, and then just like even chatting with Brian Johnson afterwards, like at that party.
Troy is the coolest guy ever.
Troy, he's like so nice.
Troy is the best.
Honestly, it's still a little surreal for me, but they're all just so cool and chill. So it's also just like feels normal. Like I'm just talking to friends.
I think that's the Key West vibe too. It's just everything was everybody was having a blast. Everybody, and then I think everybody paid a lot of money, so nobody wanted to be like a dickhead. Everybody just wanted to have fun.
I will say one of my favorite things. You know how there was that area that was like a spider web of bars and restaurants on top of each other, with all the walkways. That was my favorite area by far, without a doubt. And we had like a private room at a really small bar up there that it was just us, like all the people that were part of it, and that was really fun. And the pizza place downstairs,
I saw. I ran into you at the pizza place there.
That whole spider web of bars was so cool.
Yeah, very cool. I was gonna say even just Key West in general was amazing to go visit. Like, what a cool spot. You can just get a place to stay, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you really need.
Yeah,
you
that
just
was
walk anywhere.
I think that was most surprising to me was that like we didn't really need transportation. I mean, for us personally, I wish we did because I was bringing equipment everywhere, like not lights, but tripods, multiple cameras, audio equipment. So I wish I did have a golf cart or something for that. But in terms of being there as like someone enjoying the time, I could not believe how easy it was to get to every place we needed to go to.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
We stayed right off of Duval Street. Like we were right in the center of everything. So like we were right in the action. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was so fun.
That last night, I became like the unofficial like tour guide for some reason for all the ants. I was upstairs. We got there like at first, and there was a bunch of ants, and we were like sitting up on top, and we were like, well, where would be the best place where we could see the guys, you know, and that thing. And I was like, well, they're having a private party in there. I know that because that's blocked off. So I was like, you know what? The best place to go is probably the karaoke bar. Let's go over there and maybe that would be the best place to just hang out. And it ended up being the greatest place because the place was great, but when you got upstairs and all these things, there was just so many people. And
I don't know if I don't think I went to the karaoke bar.
Yeah, it was just like a smaller, kind of more of like a dive bar like vibe.
You know, I did go to one and do karaoke, but I don't think it had an upstairs though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
No, I think we did go though.
It was like
the second night.
Yeah, it was like right next to. It was like if you're at the.
It was
pizza
called
place,
Ricky's or something like that.
Right next to it. Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't go to one near the pizza place. I went to a different one though.
Oh yeah.
But it was really, really small. Karaoke was really. It's not a huge part of it. It was a small part of it.
No, it was.
I did jump in the line.
Such a fun time. Sloppy Joe's was so fucking overwhelming. That was the first bar we went to. I'm like, oh, there's like 300 people in this fucking bar.
Oh, it was insane. I loved it. It was awesome.
I was tripping on shrooms.
Yeah, we had shrooms. We were having a great time.
I was in a bright blue tutu.
Yep.
You were sure were.
And I was
your sunglasses. Your sunglasses were upsetting.
I was just sitting there going, "Oh my God, what is going? Fucking sensory overload right at that point, guy. It was so good.
It was awesome.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I love seeing everybody. I love the whole crew. There's like, it's tough because there's like 70 people that I feel like I'm friends with.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so much fun. And I was talking about it with someone else the other day. It was like we would walk out of our house. And I wouldn't even need a plan. In 2 minutes, I would run into someone, and they say, "I'm going here." Every single time.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was so well. It was so well put up. It was so well done.
Really well.
Yeah.
Like it was
Definitely
like boom, boom, boom,
one.
boom, boom. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
without a doubt.
I'm looking forward to the June event, honestly, because that's only ants, dude. That's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
I know.
Crazy.
I'm really interested to see how many people come to that
Yeah.
because I'm like, is this going to be 25 people or is it going to be 100 people? You know what I mean? I also know what the Tell 'em Steve Dave video screening is going to be, and I'm really excited to see people's response to it. All I'm going to say is like, this is a gigantic cast in this Tell 'em Steve Dave video.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, more than I think more than 10 to 12 people from the Tell 'em Steve Dave world are in this video.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow.
Nice.
And it's not a podcast at all. That's not what you're going to see. You're going to see something that's more than that.
So is this something that you guys had like in the canon, and like just so happened like this is like the perfect opportunity to show it?
So I gotta be honest, I'm not really part of the planning. Like Curator has included me a lot, and he's like, "Oh, can you go put the deposit down in the VFW hall?" And I did that, and he asked me to host some stuff. I don't know exactly what it is. He asked me to host some stuff at the VFW. I don't know what it is yet, but he talked to Walt about the video, and he basically said, "Is there anything we can show that's not released yet?" And through the grapevine, aka Jimmy the Big Mouth, I found out what the video is. So I think it's something that will be coming out eventually.
Yeah.
But because it hasn't seen the light of day yet, it's going to be screened at the thing. And I think it's a crazy thing to screen in a movie theater. It's not like the all new Sunday Jeff show or a new Tales from Behind the Fake Counter. It's its own thing.
I can't fucking wait.
Oh my god.
Man.
You're gonna see.
Oh my god.
You're gonna see a lot of residents. That's all I'm gonna say.
And it's like it's so weird because it's gonna be at Smod Castle. You know what I mean?
I know. I know. I thought that was interesting.
I thought it was an interesting choice.
That was
But hey, you know, it's part of the lore.
It is part of the lore for sure.
yeah.
No, it's gonna be cool. It's funny because before I knew this was gonna be dropped in the movie theater, I told Walt, like, you know how they just recently did the cast reveal for the next Avengers movie? Did you see
with
that?
The chairs.
With all the chairs. I was like, we should do that for all the people that are in this the week before it comes out. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
That would be great.
Little thing to throw up on Twitter or something.
Can I tell you 2 stars of this thing? I think that 2 of these people are going to be standout stars from this. Brian Nichelle.
Okay.
Nice.
And more than anybody, Brian Rupert.
Really?
Oh boy. Oh, nice.
Rupert.
Fuck yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be cool.
The big dog gets his due in this,
Fuck
man.
yeah,
I can't wait for people to see this. There's I guarantee, by the way, in the theater, there's going to be cheering the entire time. People are going to be flipping out.
I figured it'd be like a Rocky Horror Picture Show sort of deal, too.
Oh, this thing it's really made to showcase people. So it's really cool.
I can't wait because I feel like this... because like we keep talking about like how crazy life-changing the cruise was, Q West. I have a feeling that this is going to do something big, especially for
I think
screening something like that with that audience. Like you said, it's gonna be like Avengers Endgame level of fucking craziness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to be fun. I told Rupert, get ready to sign autographs after this screening.
Yeah. Oh
Nice.
yeah. He's going to sign my tits first.
Yeah. Nice.
It'll be cool to see, the residents, like who shows up for it and who hangs out. That'll be cool.
I hope it's everybody. I mean, I texted Nichelle and I was like, "You got to come to the screening." And I told him why, and he's like, "I don't hear about anything." And I'm like, "You're off the grid, man. He's not on any social media."
Yeah.
But
if you're not on Twitter, it ain't gonna work.
Right? It's gonna be. So we're gonna be there. Jimmy and Michelle are definitely gonna be there.
Yeah.
You know who I haven't texted? Frank 5.
Oh.
I'll text him. I'll text him tonight. I'll text him and Mary. And I'll text Troy too, because I don't know. Everyone should. I don't know why all of them wouldn't go.
Yeah.
To be honest, especially because it's all day. So even if someone's like, "Oh, I got stuff in the afternoon. I can really only go from like 10 to 12." It's like, all right, go to the studio and see everybody for a little bit and whatever.
I think we'll be at that VFW hall like all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there, then the theater, then some.
Oh yeah,
bar?
it's Dublin House.
Oh, the Dublin House.
Bar?
Dublin House is you'll love it.
Yeah, the Dublin
Yeah.
House is great.
Do you know about it? So Dublin
No.
House is across from where the original stash was at 35 Broad Street, and it's just like this awesome Irish bar. It's wicked nice inside. I've hung out there a bunch of times, and in the back it's just open, and everyone just hangs out in the back and drinks outside. There's usually a cover band.
Didn't we try going there one day?
Maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, so it's really cool, and that's just for like a little trivia, part of the lore. When Affleck was going to do Chasing Amy, I guess he was not taking it super seriously, and Kevin Smith was like, dude, you got to take this really seriously because you have to actually try out for this part, because the company that made it didn't want Affleck to be the lead. They wanted David Schwimmer. And Affleck went to Dublin House and he memorized the entire script for Chasing Amy before his...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's a great place. I've spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, that's we had dinner there
Very
last
cool.
time.
I'm excited.
Yeah, the day after we recorded the first Wannabeez, that's where we went.
Yeah.
Went to Dublin House
that's
for
cool.
some dinner. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that area. It's funny because we haven't spent much time there. That street, but like that street also has Yestercades, which is an amazing arcade place. You go in and you pay like $10 an hour, and they have like 150 arcade machines. Plus, they have gigantic flat screens with every console and every video game.
I think the only time I've been there was the first time we recorded this.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. Oh, didn't we go to Red Rocks? The restaurant?
I think that's where we
We did go to Red Rocks.
I think we might have tried that Dublin house.
Yes.
And then we ended up there.
Maybe. And then Mia Lupita's is over there too, which is an amazing... If you guys are looking for a place to eat at some point during the weekend, look up Mia Lupita's. It's right around the corner from there, and it's fucking amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great. I've gone there several times now. It's one of my favorite restaurants in the area.
Speaking about arcades, me and Justin were just talking about like Hot Wheels. It was a skating place that I used to go to like all the time. We used to go there. That was a spot.
Place,
it was a roller rink. But in that roller rink was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. I spent more money on that freaking game than any other game in the world. I dropped more money on that. It seemed like it was a staple because we always wanted to like beat that game, and it was like,
dude,
let's go.
So, we used to go to I used to go to Candy Lake Park in New Hampshire with my friends every year, and they had the Simpsons arcade 4-player, and we'd be like, we're gonna fucking. And one day we just like brought all our quarters and we beat it. And now I have a Simpsons arcade machine in my living room.
Nice,
right?
We do.
She don't sound too enthused.
No, she's Natalie.
I am enthused.
Natalie likes to
don't
pretend.
Take this guy to an arcade.
Natalie likes to
and beat him in skee ball because he'll just deny it.
Oh,
he won't.
No, Natalie's the coolest. So we were just talking about Turtles arcade, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys played Shredder's Revenge, the newer Turtles game?
No, I haven't.
Dude, so they released it like maybe 3 years ago on like consoles, and the game is like a love letter to the original games and the toys. It's insane. And me and Natalie, one of the things we did when we were long distance is play video games together.
Yeah.
We beat World War Z and everything, and we played through that entire Turtles game. And she has a specific turtle that she always is in games.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
She has an issue with rage.
Oh,
Raphael. Raphael, huh?
Wow.
Oh.
They knew off of that.
and me, who's my guy?
Oh, Mikey.
Of course. Everyone, because I'm the party dude. I'm the coolest one. Everyone wants to be my buddy. And who's Brad?
Oh, Donnie.
Oh my God! Yeah, the nerd of the group. You stay home. Build us a new coffee machine.
The goddamn hot dog drink that you guys did on Funbearable.
Oh, I know it was, dude. Narragansett beer. I mean, I guess let me plug the show real quick. I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of Funbearable,
Yeah, so I have a podcast called Funbearable with comedians Ray Harrington and Brad Rohr. It's a lot of fun. We're doing a live show called Narragansett Beers Funbearable Summer Break at the Comedy Connection in East Providence, Rhode Island on Sunday, June 1st. It's going to be great. If you're in the New England area, come on out. Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Come on out to the Comedy Connection. It's going to be a great time. We do like a live podcast that's really more sketches than podcast. It's like we come up with these bits and stuff like that. If you go to funbearablepod.com, you can check out our YouTube channel and you can see some of our older live shows. So we've put out at least 2 on the feed. We filmed them all and we film it with like 3 cameras and we make them really nice for the listeners. But so Narragansett Beer reached out to us. They're this national beer company that's based in Rhode Island. And one of the reps there became a fan. He was a fan of Tuesdays with Stories with Mark Norman and Joe List. And I produced that podcast and I'm on the podcast here and there. And he found out about Funbearable because I plug it every week on Tuesdays and he fell in love with it. And so they reached out to us to be a sponsor, which has been awesome. It's like the perfect sponsor for us because it's Rhode Island bred, but also national. They're tied to Jaws, which is fucking awesome. They feel like a big summer thing, which I think also represents Funbearable as like fun and silliness. Yeah. We have a very giggly podcast. And people have criticized us, but I'm keeping those giggles. I fucking love the giggles.
I want my scroll globe. God damn it.
Yeah, Scroll globes. Yeah,
I want my scroll globe. God damn it!
I told Ray and Brad that we should do Christmas merch where we like dip our testicles in like a mold and we make them into like snow globes. So it's like our testicles are the hills. We could put little pine trees on them and you can shake it up. You would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genius.
I've been waiting to get one of Brad and one of Ray.
And if John made one, it'd just be empty. So anyway.
Be like one of those mini snow globes, like the little
tiny,
one tiny little ball with one pube curling up. But so Narragansett Beer reached out to us, became our sponsor, and so last time we did a live show with Funbearable, we did this prank on Brad because he loves hot dogs so much. What we did was Ray and I made this fake business of his called Brad's Brats. We made advertisements for it, and we sent them to hundreds of places all around the country, like other hot dog businesses, the FDAA. Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we wrote all these crazy letters to these other hot dog places, like challenging them, so they're going to steal their customers. We wrote to the FDAA. We're like, listen, I keep my hot dogs in a bathtub. How often do I have to rotate them into my freezer to keep them healthy? We wrote to food reviewers. We wrote to his hometown favorite hot dog place growing up, and we were like, you used to be like my mentor and the person I looked up to. You've fallen, you're a piece of shit, I'm coming to take you over. By the way, so that's in Indiana, right? And Brad lives in Rhode Island. He went back to Indiana and he went there. The place is called Boz's, and they were like, I'm not kidding, unprompted, they're like, are you Brad from Brad's Brats? And they got the postcard that said like, fuck you, you piece of shit. You know what? You want me to read the postcard that we wrote to them?
Yes.
Oh my God. Let me see. I got to find this.
That's amazing.
Dude, I'll read you the one we wrote to Boz. So this is basically, we made this fake business with Brad's face on it with a hot dog cart that he had no idea about. We're sending it all over the place. And he was finding out about this live on stage. And we're reading all the postcards we wrote. So we wrote this to Boz's, which is his childhood favorite hot dog place. Dear Boz's Hot Dogs, you know, I used to look up to you, Boz. I used to think you were a god of hot dogs. I would come and sit in your restaurant with my family and I would dream of becoming you. I saw you flipping dogs behind the counter and thought someday if I work hard enough, that could be me. But as I toiled, as I worked my fingers to the bone to build my own hot dog cart, I began to despise you. You're invited to all the cool hot dog celebrity parties while they toss me to the curb. Must be real nice to be at the top of the heap looking down on all the peasants whose dreams you've helped destroy. Well, that all ends soon because Brad's Brats is about to take over Dyer, Indiana. There's only room for one hot dog head honcho, one glizzy guru, and that man will be me. Mark my words, your empire is crumbling, Boz, and you only have yourself to blame. Oh yeah, one last thing before I go. You might want to check the Northwest Indiana Times this weekend. I put a little something for you in the newspaper. Best wishes, Boz, from Brad. And we really seriously took out an ad in that newspaper that was there. Yeah. And it has Brad's Brats, and it says better than Boz's at the top of it, bigger than anything else. And then on the bottom it says finally a good hot dog in Dyer, Indiana.
Oh my God.
And so he goes there, and he was nervous about going there. And they literally were like, are you Brad from Brad's Brats? As soon as he walked in. And he's like, oh my God, no, you have to hear me out. And he had to explain this, which is very difficult to explain.
I have two stupid friends, and they don't like me. They're not really my friends because they do this shit to me all the time.
I think that because it was so ham-fisted, I think they understood that it was clearly some kind of joke. Yeah. So I think they understood it. So the guy from Narragansett that was our rep before we worked with Narragansett was at that show that we did this. So they reached out to us. They became our sponsor. And he said at the live show, the Narragansett Beers Funbearable Summer Break coming up, I want to make a can of Brad's Brats seltzer.
That's amazing.
And so we're not legally allowed to sell alcohol, but we're going to make them and we're going to put candles in them and make a hot dog scented candle.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So he's working on it right now. He has all the things. But like we want to have it as like a collector's item for our listeners to have like the Brad Sprats can with the candle.
Awesome. I remember that. I was at that show. That was an awesome show. It was an awesome show.
Nick,
I appreciate that.
Are you going to the next one?
Oh yeah. Anytime these guys, anytime these guys do something with me and my wife are like, I actually was like, do you want to go? And she's like, yeah, I want to go. That was super fun. So we're definitely
hell yeah.
100%.
We put a lot of work into our live shows. We really want to make them feel like when you walk in, you don't know what you're gonna see. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, dude.
But she had
it's really
the
fun.
comedian beforehand. She was pretty awesome too. Yeah, for a little opening.
Fuck yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I love the Rhode Island comedy scene. So many of those people have been super kind to me and really inviting, which is cool because, when Brad and I got into the comedy scene in Rhode Island, we weren't like we did stand up for a short amount of time and kind of quickly realized that like we wanted to do alternative stuff. So we would do the 2-man shows and the live podcast. And a lot of times when there is a scene like that of like traditional stand-up or traditional whatever, they kind of shit on you if you're doing something different.
Yeah.
But all the comics in Rhode Island and the people around the scene were just like kind of like, oh, it's fucking awesome that you're doing something different. And they were really inviting about it. So it's been really cool to be able to have them on the show and have them on our live shows over the years and kind of just be a part of that scene with them because they've always been super supportive and there's a lot of great talent there. A lot of the people moved to New York too.
One of my favorite comics, he plays that all the time, is Bob Marley. He is freaking super funny and
yeah, for sure.
Bob Marley plays here in Maine, Farmington, Maine, all the time, like literally all the time. Awesome. And you could that's a small town, and he plays at like the drive-in. So when he's here, you could hear him echo through the whole town. It's hilarious.
Nana, put your titty away, guy. That's like my favorite thing. I know, like that was super funny. And then he just brings it. It's like, oh, the local Cumbies. You got your Cumbies retirement and shit. Like he brings it like local, so it's super funny.
Yeah,
that is funny.
So like way back in the day when it was just like the Chuck and Brad show, and you guys were starting to do live shows. What was that process like? Like, was it the Rhode Island Comedy Connection that you reached out to and like started doing it there?
It's really interesting because I kind of think with creative stuff, you just got to do what you want to do and just like meet people and say like, oh, we're going to film this thing by ourselves that costs no money and put it out there. And even though it kind of seems like you're not doing anything, you're just kind of like, masturbating essentially. What you're doing is you are kind of creating something and then you pull in one person that's part of the scene or something. Yeah. Like let's say we had Ray Harrington on the podcast at the time or something. We would have comics on our podcast. Yeah. So what we did was there was a performance space in Providence called the AS220 that they would just do any type of art. So we called them up and we said, hey, listen, we think we could do a live podcast there. And it probably held maybe comfortably like 70 people. And so we did one there, the first one, and it was really well attended. It was pretty much full. Then we did a second one there, and it was over capacity. So we moved over to the music venues because I had a lot of contacts and a reputation with a lot of the music venues from playing in my band for 15 years. Yeah. And so we started using the music venues to do our live shows. And after we were doing that and we had several live podcasts under our belt, we were doing we started talking to the Comedy Connection because they were doing these things called bringer shows, which is where like on a Sunday night, which is an off night for touring comics, they would have local comics on bringer shows where you have to bring a certain amount of people. And Brad and I were just getting into comedy, so we were doing a little bit of stand-up for a short amount of time, and we would do the bringer shows because anyone can pretty much do it as long as you have a little bit of experience and you can bring people. And we started becoming friends with the comics there, and some of those comics booked there. And after we did a bunch of bringer shows where we had a lot of people show up because we had the podcast and I had the band and we had done videos for a long time, they did a thing called, and had nothing to do with us, it was Comedy Connection put on a show called the Tag Team Comedy Night where they had stand-up comics perform in pairs of two. And we said like, hey, can we be on that? Because we've done a lot of 2-man shows. And they were like, sure, because we had so much experience and it was kind of a rare thing. And by the time of the show, they were like, man, like we don't know who should headline this, but you guys have a lot of experience, so we're just going to have you guys headline. It's not billed as like a Chuck and Brad show.
Right.
It's billed as like Ray Harrington and Brian Bowden and Alan Moreau and this guy and all these different people. They're like, we're just going to have you go last. So we went last. I kind of did this prank on Brad for it, and it was really, really fun. And I think it went really well. And that's where I became friends with Ray Harrington, who had a very strong relationship with the bookers and had been around for a long time and did headlining shows there. And after that, we asked the people that booked the Comedy Connection if we could do a show on an off night, on a Thursday or a Sunday. And they said, sure. And it attracted enough people that they would let us continue to do it. So every once in a while we go, hey, can we just do a Sunday? Usually a Sunday. I prefer a Sunday to a Thursday.
Right.
And because we get enough people to come out, they're like, yeah, absolutely. And so it kind of, it snowballed really slowly. But it started with the bringer shows, and Brian Bowden, who's super funny. If you ever get a chance to see Brian Bowden, he's fucking hilarious. Go see him. He's the first one that got our foot in the door there.
Yeah.
And then I think working with Ray helped us out, and just doing shows where people came helped us out,
Because I think, I love doing Wannabeez, and I think it would be really cool to do something. I mean, obviously, it's, hard, because, I'm in Maine, he's in Mass,
Yeah.
John's in fucking
The one and only. We can get all our bodies in the same place.
I know, dude.
Well, who's coming to the Tell 'em Steve event? Is it you two? Is John coming?
John is not, no.
John
so
is
by
not
the time
coming.
the Tell 'em Steve Dave event happens, his kid will literally be a week old.
Wow.
So.
He doesn't have his priorities straight. You're right.
I know,
He's
man.
not dedicated
I know.
enough.
It's
But if you did wait for something like that, like an event,
Yeah.
and put it let's say Curator's thing is on what? It says a Saturday.
yeah.
If you were like, oh, the pre-party is Friday night, we're going to go to a 50-seat theater and we're going to do this. Yeah, you could do that for sure.
We're doing a Wannabeez retreat up here in Maine. So maybe we just do something like that, or just find a small little venue, like a VFW thing, and just invite a couple people, you know what I mean? Because and John is actually going to come out for that. We confirmed with John that he is coming to Maine for that.
Well, why don't you look around for performance spaces? Find places that do small plays, or there's a lot of just spots that are for they'll have a band one night, they'll have improv one night. I mean, look for improv theaters too.
Yeah.
Those will probably work really well for you because they usually hold between 30 to 50 people. So if you want to do a small show like that, I bet you could do it there because you don't really need a lot of equipment. You need 3 mics and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I would do that for sure.
It's so fun.
We're the Wannabees. We're going to take all the things that people think of, and we're going to use them as our own.
Do it.
We have to. I was a wicked theater kid in high school and stuff, but I did community theater. I wasn't in the high school theater classes. So I did a lot of just volunteering after school, doing backstage help and lighting and shit so I loved being in that environment, and I haven't done it in years, but I remember just so much fond memories of doing that kind of stuff.
Dude.
It's
that
so fun.
explains so much.
Yeah.
Because every time I see you, you're on the stage doing something.
It's so fun. I love it.
Dude, I have this
Cruise QS.
He wants to feel it one more time, just one more time. That feeling.
I have the sickest footage of you as the Baron at the Key West. I have the sickest footage, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. That whole thing was so fun. I just love doing stuff like that. I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Of course, I completely sympathize. Yeah. I think that's my favorite thing about the idea of doing live shows with Funbearable is that they're fucking boundless.
Yeah,
we can do anything we want.
Anything.
Well, we did a Halloween show, a live one recently, and the idea we came up with as the main segment was we wrote a horror script, but the way we did it was that I wrote the first 10 pages.
Right.
Brad wrote the first 10, I wrote the second 10, and Ray wrote the third 10, but we didn't get to read each other's. All we would do is Brad would read the first 10, and he would be like, the situation is we're at a theme park, Brad is having this happen, Ray's having this happen, Chuck's having this happen, and then he would continue, and then I would continue, and then I would tell the same thing to Ray, here's where we are, and we read them for the first time live at the Halloween thing to to premiere it there cold. We'd never heard about it before. And so coming up with very weird bits like that, no matter what it is, it'll fit into a Funbearable live show. I could write a song and I could play it at a Funbearable live show and it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's just so open.
That is my favorite part of Funbearables, by the way. Is pitch doctor and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
The things you guys come up with, just that I don't know what it is. It's just you guys come up with the greatest things all the time.
Thank you.
We say that we're like wannabe Tell 'em Steve Dave, but like deep down there is like I want to be like Chuck Staton.
I love hearing that.
I'm good with just one for right now.
So I'll say this: like we started the Chuck and Brad podcast, and it was at first it was going to be just talking about my band and Brad's improv group, and then it kept going, and we started in 2009, so this is a long time ago. But by the end of the show, which we were just kind of progressing, we kept coming up with this weird creative shit where we're like, well, some of our show should be just sitting around as three funny guys having some banter. But what if we actually put time into coming up with creative ideas and made them fucking balls to the wall bizarre? And like, that's why it's Funbearable, because like some of the stuff is like fun to me and maybe unbearable to listeners or other people on the podcast. And it was a thing where, one of the ones that really changed things for me in terms of expectations is like when I first did, there was an episode that we did called Dr. McFrankenstein's Year of McMadness. And it was about, I just came up with this idea where there was a new character for McDonald's named Dr. McFrankenstein who had kidnapped and tortured the other McDonald's characters. And he was coming up with an insane year, a rotating menu of different months for McDonald's food to attract new customers. And I wrote the year out and I showed Ray and Brad on the podcast and they hated every second of it because it's all bad ideas. One of my favorite ones was that for a month, McDonald's only serves hot dogs and that if you try to order a burger, they have to act like you don't exist. So watch, Natalie, I work at McDonald's. You're a McDonald's customer. Come in and order a burger. Ready? How you doing? Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi.
Hey, what can I get?
May I please get a burger?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Yeah,
Hello?
Have you gone blind? No, I need a burger.
And so basically that would be one of the months is that you just do that. But like with Dr. McFrankenstein's Year of McMadness, the joy that I got from Brad and Ray hating it was so extreme that I was like, this is the show. Yeah. This is like finding that eventually and also like Pitch Doctors where it's like we each come up with a script for something and it's not always like antagonistic, but it's always like about comedy and finding ways to stretch that.
My favorite parts about it is definitely like the hate about it, like them getting frustrated. When Ray gets frustrated, oh my God, it's the funniest thing I've ever heard on my entire life. It's just so great. And you're like, no, this is what we're gonna do, and he's like, no, I hate it. And it's just his emotions are just great.
Him being cutting is like the funniest thing in the world. When he comes at me, like even sometimes in because I'll pull back the curtain on Funbearable. I pretend to be a lot stupider than I am on purpose because it's funny. It's a funny place to. Natalie's shaking her head, but it's a funny area to play in. And so even recently we were talking about hermit crabs on Funbearable, and I was trying to say a fact about how they can outgrow their shells and go into something else. Yeah. And I kept kind of stuttering and going on these little side tangents. And Ray was just like, just fucking say it. Just fucking say what you're going to say. He was so annoying. And it was killing me. Yeah, I think
that is the best. I love it. The best dynamic. It's super fun, and I love it.
I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that. It's great. I think Funbearable is really built on the idea of like a boundless creative playground. That's what we always say behind the scenes. It's like it's a creative playground. Any idea goes. Have fun with it. It's a new show every week. So if we do something that we don't think works out, we don't do it anymore. Right. And playing with it and the commentary of playing with it is part of the show.
Yeah.
I love doing that stuff. I love the creativity behind it.
That's where you got to where you're at. Like you're explaining to us like behind the scenes, but that's kind of where like you were explaining, like that's how like you were found, like you found more people because they just people were putting things out there and just accepting that's your outlet, and it just kept going from there. So that's pretty cool.
I think it's really smart to say, like, if you like to do something creative, just do it and do what you can, and you don't know how that's going to roll forward. Like the way that I got to working with Tell 'em Steve Dave is actually the same as getting into the clubs, because we were doing the Chuck and Brad podcast. We were doing it in a performance theater at AS 220, and I filmed one of them with 3 cameras and recorded the audio, and then Tell 'em Steve Dave was doing that live show at the Gramercy in 2016. And the way that I got to be part of that and get into this world was saying, here's stuff that I've shot before. And at the time when I shot it, it was just for us. We didn't even have a video podcast. I was just shooting it to have it. And so even though that was really not to move me forward or do anything, in terms of taking a step into other creative ventures, the fact that I had it did put me in a situation where I was able to move into something else. So I think that just doing your thing and getting better at it and having it to show other people when an opportunity comes up, even if that thing originally just feels like you're just doing whatever, or just doing the thing you do, I think it's really smart to just fucking grind forward and just do it.
Believe me, that if anybody knows about grinding forward, it's me.
Did
you see the live show? I was just wasted. At one point, I didn't even know what I was talking about, but I was like, all right, the show's just going to keep going. In my head, I just kept saying, the show's, it's live right now. I just got to keep going. Doesn't matter what the hell I'm
We're talking to like 40-something people, and Nick is
it was hilarious. It was hilarious though after but
man. It's good stuff.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's right.
And don't even care what people, if people are gonna even listen to it, just put it out there if that's what you want to do. That's basically the whole thing behind WannaBeez. It was like just
have fun.
Yeah,
just have
keep
fun
up
with
that
it.
cruise vibe that we captured that during that trip, right? Because it was
Absolutely.
so magical. Like, let's just keep that.
We wanted
going.
to get bottle that emotion of like
just
going to a Tell 'em Steve Dave event. And so that like people that couldn't go or couldn't afford to do it, they could come along with the journey with us, and kind of like just
that was the whole premise of the episode that you guys were on. That was the catalyst. That was like everything for us, and then it just sort of, fuck it, let's do it every week.
I think the other thing about podcasting that's cool is that it's so loose that it's like, if you do have a couple of friends and you're like, man, we all have lives, we're all grown-ups, how do we find a way to kind of stay in contact? Doing a weekly podcast where you're like, where there's no flakes in the room that just don't show up once in a while because of their stupid kids. But like having a reason to actually get together because of a responsibility is a great reason to do it.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely like we have an LLC guy. Like, we're married at this point. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We got it.
Exactly.
This is like this is a job for us.
We took on the University of Texas for our logo. We're in it now.
University
is it true?
Oh yeah.
What happened?
University of Texas.
Logo. Yeah.
University Texas Regent. Yeah. They came after our logo because they have a show. It's called the Wannabeez, but it's with an S and not a Z.
It's just like a beekeeping show thing that they do.
It's like a trivia show that they have on campus,
awful.
but
about beekeeping.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird trivia thing. But they came after us because of our logo that Justin obviously made, and it's not it's not intellectual property of anybody, because he literally, if it's anybody's intellectual property, it would be Justin's. And they came after us. We had to fight for our logo for a minute, for a couple of weeks. There,
it's fucking insane, dude.
It was insane. Yeah,
that is hilarious.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's very funny.
You know Robert Floyd, the guy out in Texas, that the ant. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
He lives out in Texas. We almost called him on the show just so he could answer for their fucking crimes.
We had a whole bit. I had a whole bit that we were gonna, if they didn't relent, we were gonna have a whole pod of why Texas sucks. like this whole thing and just break them all down and stuff until they relented our logo.
Shithole.
We ended up winning, and they dodged the bullet.
Yeah,
that is funny. That's really
Isn't
funny.
that just crazy though? Just like a rinky-dink little podcast like us got into like within like the first 10 episodes. It was like, hey, by the way, legal, like we own this. You can't do that. Like, fuck. What?
That is hilarious.
It was
because that's
very funny.
It's really wild.
Yeah, because we were putting it on. We were putting it on. Like obviously, we were putting it on the YouTube feed, and we put the thumbnail on all of our episodes. And like out of nowhere,
there's a cease and desist, and they removed it from their websites, and it was a whole thing.
Yeah,
that is hilarious.
We had to fight for our right to pod, dude. It was fucked up.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right after that, I was like, guys, we need an LLC. We need to start protecting we were thing. I probably spent like $600 on this LLC because I was like, this has never happened to us. I don't care if this goes nowhere, but this has never happened to us ever again. It's not happening.
Yeah.
No,
now, question: did you buy the website already?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
you're not gonna be extorted by a toothless hobo.
still holding our website hostage.
Oh shit!
Who then becomes your layabout employee for some reason?
Then we hire him. We have a Wannabeez office someday, dude.
He lives in your studio. He hobbles around from room to room.
Well, it's been fun. I think. I think
we're gonna end with a couple John facts. What
we do on this pod, Where's John, is you got to come up with a thing. We don't care if it's true.
John fact.
It doesn't matter. You just say your John fact, and
because we normally do like a bee fact for the Wannabees, and that's probably why Texas came after us because they're like, we own bees. It's probably what it was, the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But we usually do the bee fact. But since John's not here, we like to just spread rumors. Like John's ancestors, he's actually related to Hitler.
Wow.
No, not a lot of people know that.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
right.
I wish I could say I was surprised.
John has an unhealthy relationship with old ladies.
That is true. That is fucked up.
Is it true?
It is true. No, that is true. Remember, he told us like all these old ladies were fucking going after him.
That is a true John
the
fact.
Supermarket.
Wherever John goes, he gets crusty. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like it's old,
the crustiest
old. Like they've been working in the town hall for like 35 years, and they just zero in on him.
They do.
And it's either they want to take him out or they want to give him some loving. There's two reasons why John gets in these things. Because every story,
witches and they want to drink his what's that fucking like part that like chemical like in their blood that like makes them younger, whatever the fuck it is.
Damn.
Yeah. So John has unhealthy relations with older women.
Yeah. Wow. Natalie, do you have a John fact?
John could have had any woman on that cruise.
That's a good callback.
Perfect.
Including older women.
Yes. I do have an unfortunate John fact. It's true, though. Did you guys ever see Death Becomes Her, the movie?
Yep.
So in that movie, it's about Goldie Hawn and Susan Sarandon. Who is it? Goldie Hawn and, Meryl Streep?
I think, yeah, Meryl Streep, yeah.
And they take this potion that makes them younger, right? John is actually a 93-year-old Thai woman.
Holy shit.
And he took the Death Becomes Her potion, which is why he looks like an 11-year-old boy with no testicles or pubic hair.
So that's why he likes older women.
And that's why he likes older women, because it's actually his accurate age group.
That's fucked up.
That is the greatest John fact I've ever heard.
Yeah, Death Becomes John.
Death. Oh, Eric, get on that poster, please. Eric Mason, get on that poster.
His head on both of them.
Photoshop that whole thing. Bruce Willis, all of it. Just put John's head on every single person. Please, I need that in my life.
By the way, Death Becomes Her is it's an underrated movie. It's really great.
It's a good movie. Yeah. Good movie.
I used to rent it all the time as a kid.
Justin has no idea what we're talking about whatsoever.
You've never seen it?
I've seen it.
Oh, you have? Oh, geez.
It's great.
Finally,
Why are you so surprised, Nick?
Because every time I say something about like an older movie, you guys are like, I've never seen it. No, I've never seen it, guys. That's like way before my time. I'm like shocked that you've seen anything out of the 90s.
Well, Nick, you're forgetting about one fact about Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
It's part of the lore.
It's part of the lore. Well, thank you guys for coming on. We had a great time.
Hell yeah.
I'll say plug your live show one more time before we get out of here.
Yeah, check it out. It's Narragansett Beers Funbearable Summer Break, and it's my podcast, Funbearable Live. Myself, Ray Harrington, and Brad Rohr. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's at the Comedy Connection in East Providence, Rhode Island on Sunday, June 1st. Funbearablepod.com for tickets. And if you haven't heard of the show, it's really, really fun. Go to funbearablepod.com and check out the episodes. New episode every single Wednesday. Video and audio. We do a lot of fun bonuses. Me and Rupert, Brian Rupert for Tell 'em Steve Dave, do a fun bonus called Popcorn Kernels on our feed.
I wanted to bring up Popcorn Kernels real quick.
Yeah, bring it up.
So, have you seen Sinners yet?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, dude, I just saw it last night. What'd you think?
I thought it was incredibly well made. Probably the best ever one guy playing twins movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Incredibly well made. I do think the first hour 15 is so slow. I wish that was cut down to a half hour. And the vampire stuff I wish was longer, but the vampire stuff is fucking incredible. It feels like an 80s movie. It's incredible. The vampire stuff is really excellent.
I love the usage of music throughout the entire film, dude. So good.
The barn dance scene with the montage is incredible. I think it's a great movie. I think everyone should go see it. I'm not huge on period stuff, as Natalie will tell you. And so I think maybe other people won't be as think it's as slow, but to me it was really, really slow for a long time. And so but I think it was incredibly well made across the board. The music stuff was great. The vampire stuff was great. And even the period stuff was really well done. It just felt like a lot to lead up to that. You're watching a vampire movie that's 80% no vampires,
I went into it knowing absolutely nothing about it. So we were going to the movies last night, and it was either going to be Thunderbolts or Sinners. And I heard a lot of people like Sinners, and I'm like, it's been a while since I've gone to the movies and then didn't know anything about it. So fuck it. I
love it.
I want to go surprise myself. And
that's great.
Dude, I was glued to the screen. I was just enjoying the whole movie. Honestly, it was just a lot of fun.
Did a great job. It was Coogler, right? Ryan Coogler?
Yeah, I think so.
He's fucking awesome. Yeah. And Michael B. Jordan is awesome.
Honestly, like I said, I knew it was Michael B. Jordan. I didn't realize that it was him as both. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's incredible. They're it's crazy. They're next to each other on a horse and carriage bouncing around. And I'm like, how did they do this?
It's so good. Yeah.
It looked great.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts was great too, by the way.
Yeah, I want to see that as well. I really wanted to see
that one was really good.
Yeah.
What was it?
Really good. Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one's really good.
New Avengers.
Yeah, I really want to see that too. I felt like since I didn't see it opening night, I got all the spoilers online.
I know.
And so I'm like, fuck, I'll just watch at this point. I'll just watch it on Disney Plus or whatever. I wanted to go to the movies and surprise myself and have that movie experience, and that's exactly what I got. And it was just
totally, bud, totally.
How do we end the Where's John thing? We
don't usually have guests on, so we're just fuck John, and he's not dedicated. And John sucks.
That's how we end it.
Yeah.
Fuck John.
Fuck John. I agree.
Fuck John.
Yeah.
Teeny ball motherfucker.